Okay, you can see where it's actually popped out now. They stupidly left the shower hose on in a bucket and they've flooded from upstairs to downstairs. So unfortunately this poor lady's lost all power because all the water's gone into it. I genuinely want to cry right now. This job has been 20 to 9. It's 20 to 9. So today's job, I am working in Wembley with Divyesh from the DC group. You guys might have seen a video that I've done with him. We fit the ATAG boiler system boiler. This job is a cylinder replacement and it's a warranty job. So the cylinder's still under warranty. It's got a split inside the coil. So we've got to remove the cylinder and basically replace it for like. The caveat is, I think it's somewhere very high up on the top floor. And apparently from what I've been told, there's a boiler right above it. So we need to take the boiler off the wall in order to get the cylinder out and then put the cylinder back in and repipe it up. So let's go inside and see what fresh hell D's got in store for me.
Up here, we tried out.
Alright. D, what have you got us into today?
Bit of a pickle, mate. Yeah. So this has got to come off. Inspection hatch ideally go into there. Fluid just pops off there. Expansion vessel out.
Oh my god, is this what we've got to change?
This 300 litre Gled Hill crap coil. And then that downstairs, new one up, and put it all back together again.
That is going to be...
It's going to be fun.
Well, it's right for you to say. You're like 5 foot something, I'm 6'2", so don't know how that's going to work out.
We'll figure it out, babe.
And then we've got to go down here. How many flights of stairs? I've got to get it out there. Working with D is always a pleasure. He always finds the most interesting jobs, shall we say. At least he makes good content. That's definitely for sure. Right, so cylinder's draining. We'll get the boiler off.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take this
the vessel off.
And just waiting to drain a little bit more. Take the vessel off, see if we can squeeze it out, save us taking the boiler off and faffing out the fluid too much.
Have you recharged the vessel? Or not yet?
There's hardly anything up there.
I've got angle adapter, so we can put angle adapter on there and try and pump that out.
Yeah, well, to be honest, once it's off, we just do it downstairs. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
It'll be quicker downstairs. Just it sounds empty, so.
Yeah. Cool. So we just wait for the cylinder to drain out. Once it's drained out, then we can make a plan whether we need to take the.
There's no way it's getting changed.
Yeah, what, the coil split?
Yeah. So listen to this. So just in case whoever doesn't know, it's a pressurized cylinder on an S plan. Okay, heat in the hot water. And then what you've got, if you try filling it up, you hear it bubbling inside the actual cylinder. So if you listen to this.
Just found that the expansion vessel
Hold on 1 second.
is actually teed into the balance. Well, it's been connected off the balance coil connection off of the combi valve. Rather than using that connection, that's your balance. So that's your expansion vessel connection, or to tee in after the combi valve, they've actually teed it in at the back there, off the balance coil. So that expansion vessel is not doing anything. So we've got to sort that out as well today. So the cylinder is all disconnected, and we were trying to shimmy it out in between where the boiler is. Managed to get it to a certain point, but then it's catching on this door frame and it was catching on the door down here. So the only way we're going to be able to do it is to take the boiler off the wall now, so that we can get the cylinder directly in front of us. So this sensor light keeps coming because I've had to take that light bulb out, and then we'll be able to tilt the cylinder back and then forward so that we can clear this door frame here. So it's a bit annoying. We were trying to do it without having to take the boiler off. So I even undid the PCB and everything, because first of all that was catching, so undid the connection and then moved it out the way, moved the side panel off the boiler, but it's still catching on the side of the main heat exchanger and also the door frame. So boiler's now been drained out. We're just going to cut in an inspection hatch here so we can see what's going on with the flue, so that we know how we need to slide it out. There's no loft hatch here, is there, D?
No, I can see.
Nothing, nowhere we can get into the loft space to actually see what we can do with the flue. That's the only thing with the vertical flue, we can't really move it up without seeing what's going on inside. We need to lift the boiler up and then out towards us. So, right, I'm not going to take the camera up there, but basically managed to get out onto this flat roof, which is the first story, through the kitchen window. This is HMO, so we've got no access into any of the other rooms. And the flue, we had no movement on it because it was CT1'd in from the top. So where they've done the loft conversion, flat roof up there, and the vertical terminal was CT'd one. So managed to, luckily I had my double stack ladders here, so I've managed to get up onto the roof and cut the seal around where the flue was sitting onto the flat roof. And now I've been able to lift it up finally. So now we can actually get the boiler off the wall. But yeah, it's been an absolute mission to try and get this sorted. Okay, so back inside. So I've cut an access panel there, and I can see from inside that it was all CT1'd. Now we've got movement on that, so lift that up, and now should be able to get the boiler up and off towards us. So now we can start making some progress. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Doesn't fit through the door frame. Even at an angle, when we tilted it down this way, the bottom of the cylinder is hitting there. Can't get the swing round on it whatsoever. And you still got the hot connection sticking up at the top. So the only thing we can do now, I've spoken to the landlord, we've got to cut out the door frame, then they've got to get a chippy back in to make it good. This job
is a nightmare.
Got the boiler off, got the flue out. Now got to try and get the door frame out. Absolute. Yeah, I got to bleep that out.
This.
Huh?
Trim this, you're saying, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't even know if that's going to be enough. We'll trim it in bit by bit.
Let me just trim this quickly.
Yeah.
Just grab it.
Yeah. All right, let me go grab a hammer. It's finally out. It's finally out. We've had to take the whole, well, not the whole, but the top section of the door frame totally out, because in the hot connection at the top wouldn't have gone through. So that's all been taken out. They're going to have to make that good again afterwards. But what a nightmare job. I thought the flue was just going to be the hardest bit, but nope. They've obviously fit the cylinder here, and then all this door frame and everything has been built around it afterwards. Yeah, that wasn't fun, especially getting it down all this as well. But the old one's out. Now got the fun job. Well, I'm going to take a break, have some lunch, and get the new one in and reconnect it. Hopefully, I don't want to jinx it, so yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to have some lunch and then see how we get on. It's in. It's back in. Now you might be wondering, why have we fit the same size cylinder when we had so much difficulty with the old one? It's because this one's still under warranty. Because it was a split coil, I think it's only about a year old, so it had to be a like-for-like replacement for the same one. So hence why it's the same awkward one going back in. But luckily we've cut all the connections, so now we're just going to reconnect everything back up and just do compressions on all the joints where we've cut. So luckily in that respect, hopefully it shouldn't take too long to get it all repiped back up, because it's literally the same pipes that we've taken off. I'm going to do a little bit of alteration to the expansion vessel to make sure that's teed in properly. We're going to sort the bypass out, because it was weird. The bypass was after the hot water zone valve on the hot water flow connection, so it was coming off of there, and then there was a bypass going to the return, which doesn't make any sense. So we've got enough space there, so probably cutting a T here somewhere, put the bypass there into the return. We've got enough space there. Other than that, everything else should go back exactly where it was. So
why not? We'd run a live cable into
so the wiring as well. So the boiler didn't have a permanent live. Switch live was wired into the permanent live, so that boiler would actually only turn on when there's a demand, and they left the 24 volt RT link in. So this whole install has just been a bit of a shambles, to be honest. But now we're gonna try and rectify what we can and just make good of a bad situation. Right, little progress update. The cylinder side is all piped up now. Those two caps, there was a bypass going onto there for God knows whatever reason. That's pointless, so we're going to cut the bypass in there to there. First of all, that's now been teed into after the combi valve, so that's actually providing expansion now. Cylinder is being currently filled up, so I've opened the gate valve at the top there, so cylinder's being refilled. Next is we're going to get the boiler on the wall. Then we can sort of work out where the bypass, where exactly to cut it, and we can get it all piped up. I'm a bit lost for words because it's just been one of those days where I'm just like, yeah, it's meant to be a pretty straightforward job, but it hasn't been a straightforward job, but we're getting there. And we hopefully, what's the time now? It's 20 to 4. Hopefully it shouldn't be much longer, but I don't want to jinx it. But let's see, because we've still got to do that, and we've got to sort out the wiring as well. So a little bit more left to do, and then we're on the home stretch. Okay, it's not going to plan. Boiler's all been piped up. We're trying to refill the system, and what happens is, okay, so it's filling. Pressure in here is not going up whatsoever. Luckily, where we use this compression is going to the cylinder. Take that off, put a compression cap on each end, so that's going to isolate the cylinder completely. Then fill up some pressure and see if the pressure holds. If the pressure holds, then we know that the problem is again with the cylinder. If the pressure is still dropping, then it's a leak on the central heating system, but it's going to be a very bad leak because that's literally not holding any pressure whatsoever. As we're filling, the needle's not even going up whatsoever. So
been off about 10 minutes.
I don't know what to tell you guys at this stage. I'm literally losing the will to live because we've capped all that off and we've discovered there's a major leak on the heating system. Follow me. I won't be able to show you, but I can show you a video. We've just been going around the whole house and I could hear something under the stairs where the gas meter was. So what we've done is taken the meter out, open up that bit of flooring just in there, and then Dee's found this video. He's chucked his phone underneath, so let's have a look because I can't get this camera down there. So I don't know how clear it's going to come out on here, but if you see there, that is
Pouring.
absolutely pouring out. And we've traced it. So stuck our head down there and the camera down there, and you can hear it coming from here, and it's coming from down there. So which means now this job has turned into leak detection, trace and repair. Well, we've traced it, now we've got to try and find it, well, try and repair it, which means all this flooring, we're going to cut it up, try and get to the floorboards underneath here, because we've had a look from the video. You can see the two hot and cold feeds coming up to the basin, and you can see the waste coming down from there. Oh, the reason why we haven't got lights in here is because the tenants who live upstairs, they stupidly left the shower hose on in a bucket. D, get that video up where they left the shower hose on in the bucket, and they've flooded from upstairs to downstairs. So unfortunately this poor lady's lost all power because all the water's gone into it. So whilst we were filling up the cylinder, we could hear water running, and then we went into flat number 5, I think it was, and they just left a shower hose running in the bucket, which had overflowed everywhere, flooded their flat. God knows how they didn't notice it, and it's all come down into here. It's gone into her light fittings, tripped her electrics, so we've got no light in there, and now we've got to excavate to try and find this leak. It's not going good. D, shall we just change your career? I think, you know, become delivery drivers.
I work for Uber.
Amazon drivers. Amazon delivery drivers.
No, we park better than them. They can't park. They can't park.
DPD, let's do DPD.
DPD, yeah. Driving people's walls.
That's it.
Free delivery.
Okay, so we're going to try and get that done now. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long video as well, so yeah.
Enjoy it.
I hope you guys enjoy this, because we're not enjoying it. Right, we've hit the jackpot, so took up this bit of flooring in here. Now, I'm gonna have to just turn the camera upside down, so I don't know if this viewing angle is gonna change or not, but yeah, it is absolutely poor. And now we've got to find the pipe that's popped off. So probably take up these floorboards here, see if we can find which of the pipe has popped out, and hopefully it's just a case of pushing it back in and remaking that joint. Fun times. Become a plumber, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Go figure. Okay, you can see where it's actually popped out now. So it's basically that pipe there has just popped out of that fitting. So I'm gonna see if we can get to it, because then this is getting too close to the shower here. So we should be able to maybe take up a little bit more here and get to it, or might just be able to get to it from here, but obviously we want to make sure that we can make a good seal again. Right, let's get the water off and then try and redo that connection and then retest it. Right, so just taking up another section there, so we've got a bit more access to the pipe in question, which is what, there. Now down here I found this plastic insert, which I don't think that's the right insert for these poly pipes, but I think I was meant to come on this job because I found one metal 22mm insert in my van out of nowhere. So we're going to pop that in. I mean, the grab ring and everything doesn't look too bad condition. The O-ring's okay. So the fact that the insert was on the floor, I'm not sure if that's because maybe there wasn't an insert in there, or if the insert popped out when the pipe popped out, but I've got a metal insert, so we're going to pop that in, put the connection back in and pray, because we haven't got poly pipe fittings on us and it's too late. So this is the only chance we've got. Okay, so I've done that connection back up just in there, so I put a mark on it and the mark's just gone inside, so I know that it's gone all the way home. Giving it a proper tug and that is not coming out, so I'm hoping that with the correct insert should now hold. So now Deezer's gone upstairs, he's going to redo those cylinder connections that we capped off, and then we're going to refill it and pray that the pressure holds. Then we've still got to sort the flue out before it gets dark. Nightmare. Okay. Oh, let me sit down on this stool. It's all done, everything's wired up. We've run a new 5-core cable from here, so the boiler now has a permanent live, not just a switch live. The pressure is holding. That's been there for a long while now. So now it's the moment of truth. 3-amp fuse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, this is open. Each the same valve. They're both manually open. No demands. Installer level 17. Or even, let's do 19, because that works as well. Test programs. Check programs. Yep, they're both open. Page. Come on, baby. Let me hear that pump go. This is like the longest wait ever. Yes! I genuinely want to cry right now. This job has been... It's 20 to 9. It's 20 to 9. But we've got it done. Just got to do the PRV connection pipe back on. Condense that clip. Come on. Don't do this to me now. Oh, I'll sort that in a minute. other than that, yeah. Okay, purge, 26.9 checks. Sorry, there might have been some stuff in the camera. And then I can go home. No, got another call out that came in this morning, but it's just finished just the filling loop handle on the Valent. So I'm going to do that on my way home. I think I've got the metal filling loop handles on my van, so hopefully I should be able to just get that done on my way home and then call it a day. But yeah, this has made good content. Let's not lie about that. But when you're actually doing the job and filming at the same time, you just think, when is this going to end? When are we going to find it? Luckily, we found that leak. Otherwise, yeah, that was an absolute minefield. But found the leak, sorted it, and now this should have no problems whatsoever. Fingers crossed. And that is us done.
Over and out.
Yeah, it's been one hell of a day. D thought it was going to be a half a day job. Cylinder swap.
Optimistic.
Even the cylinder swap was more than half a day because of all the bloody palaver with the door frame and everything. Hello! Yeah, we're going now. We're done. They're fed up of us, we're fed up of them. We're just fed up today, so...
You flood your bathroom again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not here, so...
That's it. Alright, I'm not gonna do the whole spiel, but like, this has been a hell of a job. This probably made a hell of a video, so please like the video, subscribe to the video, hit the little bell button and all that jazz, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Over and out.